Hello, students. In this session 15 of quantitative decision tools, we shall try to understand the calculation of mean in various classifications of data like ungrouped, grouped non continuous, and grouped continuous data. So, the structure of this session will be starting from learning objectives, the session outcomes, and the calculation part of arithmetic mean, followed by the summary and references. The learning objective of the session is to understand the calculation of arithmetic mean. After this session, the student shall be able to understand how exactly the arithmetic mean is calculated. So, coming to the classifications of calculation of mean, we'll start with ungrouped data, that is individual observations, where we have the direct method and the shortcut method. The second type of data is the group data non-continuous, that is discrete series. There again we have this direct method and shortcut method. In grouped data continuous, we have the direct method, shortcut method, and also the step deviation method. So let us try to understand this mean calculation under ungrouped data or individual observations. So in individual observations, the mean is calculated as below. So here in this illustration 1, the marks of 10 students are given. They are namely 40, 50, 55, 78, 58, 60, 73, 35, 43 and 48. So for this I need to calculate mean. So under direct method, I'll apply the formula mean is equal to sigma x by n. So sigma x, marks of the students that is given, is considered as x. So I take the total of the marks that will result in sigma x, which I get 540. I'll divide it by n refers to number of observations. So here it is said that it is 10 students marks that have been given. So 540 divided by 10, mean is equal to 54. So this is under the direct method. Coming under the shortcut method, what I do exactly here is, out of the marks given, I'll assume any one of the value as assumed mean. So here in this example, I have assumed 50 as assumed mean. After this, I'll calculate d. D is equal to x minus a. So in each case, x is minus from the assumed mean, that is 50. So in first case it is 40 minus 50, we get d as minus 10. Next it is 50 minus 50, d will be 0. 55 minus 50, d will be 5. Likewise we calculate d, and at the end we take the summation, that is sigma d we calculate, which is equal to 40. Formula is mean is equal to a plus sigma d by n. A is the mean that we have assumed, that is 50, plus sigma d we have got 40, divided by n, that is number of observations, 10. So 50 plus 40 divided by 10 is 4. So 50 plus 4 is 54. So both in direct method as well as the shortcut method, mean is equal to 54. Coming to grouped data non-continuous or discrete series, here marks is given, along with it the number of students are also given. So such kind of data we call it as discrete series, where x and f will be given. So marks will be considered as x, number of students will be considered as f. F refers to frequency. So now coming to the direct method, so x, first column is taken as x and number of students is taken as f. So here third column fx is to be calculated. So we multiply x with f and find out fx. 1 into 21 is 21. 2 into 30 is 60. Likewise we find out for all the frequencies we multiply with the x, and finally take the summation where we get sigma fx, and the formula is x is equal to sigma fx by n. Here n is not number of observation, it is the total of frequency. So sigma fx we have 1716 divided by the summation of frequency, that is 300. So mean we get 5.72. So this is under direct method. Coming under shortcut method, so out of x we assume any one value as assumed mean. Likewise in this problem we have assumed 5 as assumed mean. And now after the assumption we calculate d is equal to x minus a. So for the first case it will be 1 minus 5, d will be minus 4. Next it is 2 minus 5, d is minus 3. Likewise we calculate d. And then the fourth step we multiply d with f and calculate fd and take a summation where we get sigma fd. And the formula is mean is equal to a plus sigma fd by n. A is the assumed mean, that is 5, plus sigma fd we have calculated, that is 216, which you can refer it in the table, divided by n refers to summation of frequency 300. So 5 plus 216 by 300 is 0.72. 5 plus 0.72 is 5.72. So in both the methods we have calculated mean, which is equal to 5.72. Coming to the third, that is group data continuous. Here the class intervals will be given along with the frequencies. So calculate mean for the following. There in one side we have profit per shop in rupees, that is 100 to 200, 200 to 300 and so on. And the other hand we have number of shops, that is frequency. So in the direct method what we do is class interval is taken as x, number of shops is taken as f, and in next step we calculate the midpoint. How to calculate midpoint? The lower limit plus the upper limit of the class is divided by 2 to calculate midpoint. For example, 100 to 200, midpoint is 150. So how do we get 150? Is 100 plus 200 divided by 2, we get 150. And next step we find out fm, that is we multiply the frequency with the midpoint and take a sum of it. Formula is mean is equal to sigma fm by n. So sigma fm, as you can see in the table, it is 72,900 divided by n, that is summation of frequency 150. So 72,900 divided by 150, we get mean as 486. This is under direct method. Under shortcut method, what we do here is, after the midpoint calculation we assume any one in the midpoint as assumed mean, and with that assumed mean we calculate d is equal to midpoint minus a. So after the calculation of d, we multiply d with frequency to calculate fd and take a summation, that will be sigma fd. So the formula is a plus sigma fd by n. So a is what we have assumed, that is 450, plus sigma fd, as we can see in the table, it is 5,400 divided by n is summation of frequency, that is 150. So 5,400 divided by 150, we get 36. 450 plus 36, it is 486. So even in the shortcut method also we get mean as 486. Next, coming to the step deviation method, there what we do is, after the midpoint we assume one value as assumed mean, calculate d. After d we are supposed to calculate d bar. D bar or d dash is equal to d by c. What d is already calculated is divided by c. C refers to class interval. So in the first step you can see minus 300 is d, so we have divided by the class interval, that is 100. So d dash is minus 3. And later we multiply d dash with f and find out fd dash and take a summation of that, will be sigma fd dash. Formula goes like this: a plus sigma fd dash divided by n into c. So a is 450 plus sigma fd dash, as we can see in the table, it is 54, divided by n is, that is summation of frequency 150, into c refers to the class interval, that is 100. 450 plus, if I divide 54 by 150, I get 0.36 into 100. So first I should multiply. So I'll multiply 0.36 into 100. I get 36. 450 plus 36 is equal to 486. So even in this method, I have calculated the mean is 486. So coming to the summary part, mean is the most commonly and widely used measure of central tendency, and it is nothing but the arithmetic average of the series. These are the references that I have made for this session. Thank you.